For the last 6 weeks, I've been really focusing on my diet, improving myself in the gym, and spending a lot of time down the range, trying to get as good as I can before this holiday to Portugal later in the year. Today, it's 6 weeks in, halfway through, time to get on the course and see how well I'm doing and how close to breaking 100 I can get. First hole, par 3, 157 yards, shelf off to the left, so we want to aim right. Nice and easy, there's a good mark on the floor. Not overthinking. It has gone left, which is unusual for me, but we are just on the fringe. Okay, long putt up the hill. We're not sinking this, just giving it the legs. Ooh. Way too many legs. Oh, Christ. Good pace. Left to right. We'll slide it in. Cool. Bogey for the first. Hole 2, 338 yards. I'm going to 5-wood it off the tee. This might be a bit of a gamble. It's not my best club, but it's more reliable than my driver. Should only go about 220, 230 yards, which will be that big tree down there on the right. I'm going to aim left, give myself the space, and within luck, I'll have 100 yards in to the green. We should be dancing. So, let's see if we can stick to it. I'm going to tee it up on the right side of the box, give myself a little bit of space. We'll aim it at that bunker on the left, give myself a little bit of playroom, lining up my club at that bunker. Yeah, line it with that dirty mark. It is a little bit windy. Wind is into my face, which should be in my favour here because it means it won't go as far. Ever so slightly into my right heel, and just a smooth tempo swing. Sometimes I can play this game. So I've got 147 to the back, 125 to the front. So that is a little cheeky 9-iron. Yeah, 9-iron. It is ever so slightly uphill. The wind has died down. So let's go with a 9, see if we can land it on the front. I think it's a middle pin. Again, the lie is not terrible, but it's not the best. Give myself a nice smooth swing, get the grip right, get comfortable, get the shaft lean, smooth swing. Good connection on the green. Stop short of the bunker. Has just stopped short of the bunker. We've actually got a backside pin, so it's deep on the green. Again, we've got a good lie. It is going to have to get up. I do want to avoid hooking into the bunker, so we're going to aim it slightly to the right. We've got space over there. Just a nice smooth swing. Soft hands, get it up the edge and let it roll forwards. That's the thinking anyway. Oh, slightly thinned it, but we got up the edge. It is rolling back. But, oh, it may have stopped before the fringe. We did get it to stay on the green, so that's a great sign. Not quite as fat as I thought, or thin, sorry, not quite as thin as I thought it was. This is going to break left to right. Only a couple of degrees. I think it's a cup or maybe 2 cups to the left of the green, left of the pin, and it's going to be downhill slightly, so don't need to hit it too hard and just let the hill do its work. Ooh, much more break than expected. This is now slightly uphill. We have 155 to the front of the green, 160 to the centre and 180 to the back, so there's a lot of that space at the back. And as I should have realised in the last hole, that was a white flag, it's back of the green. This is a red flag, front of the green. So I'm going to hit a 7-iron, because that should be about 140 with a bit of rollout, so that's the 155 to the edge. Don't want it to go too far off. It's actually deceptive. It looks from here like the front of this green is, also the back of this green is uphill, but it doesn't really slope that far. Many times I have rolled it all the way off the back of the green thinking I had plenty of cover, but I did not. So that's someone else's tee, which actually I'm going to use. So we have got loads of space on the left, so we'll give us some space on the left. There's a guy practicing at the chipping green down the back. Line that up onto that high. Actually, I'm going to aim where I normally would, not practicing my right, because everything's gone a bit left today. So we're going to aim there. And if it goes left, that gives me buffer. And again, just like on the first tee, nice and smooth tempo swing. And it's gone right. Of course it's gone right now. But it's kicked out from the trees, so we take it. Nowhere near far enough, but safe. Okay, so I'm in a bit of a no man's land here because I only want to go 50 yards. I don't have a reliable 50-yard shot in my bag. I'm trying to pitching wedge at 9 o'clock and getting roughly 50, but it's an unreliable rollout. And it's, again, the front edge of the green. If I can land it just short of the green, the rough stuff should help it slow. And I really want to avoid that bunker. So we are going to use all that space on the left. Just get it on the green, way of the player, GIOTG, and play from there. That is not the way of the player. Switch to sand wedge from here because I want to get some height and keep it off of the rough stuff. Do a couple of practice swings so I don't bottom it out again like that before. Let's grip down a little bit just to make sure I'm really sliding through the grass. That's more like it. That's what we wanted to do the first time, but it still landed a bit short. It is rolling up though. Yeah, just a bit short, but better execution. From the fringe, there is a bit of a dip and then long stuff in the middle and then back up. It's going to break slightly to the right. I don't think it'll be as aggressive as the last one, but I was fooled by that as well. So make sure I give it the legs to get over this rough stuff, but then respect the green on the other side. Nice, good pace. First time with the big stick in today's round anyway. So far, with the 5 of heart wood, went well. If I can keep that swing up, be happy. Hole number 4, 398 yards from the yellows. I think actually we're a little bit less from here, but either way, plenty of driver distance. If I absolutely pure this, and in fact last time I was here, on the 17th tee, I hit it all the way to where we're standing now, that's 290 yards. Don't want to do exactly that, it's the wrong direction, but if I can get 290, I'm laughing, leaves me with 100 in, but if I can get anywhere to 60, which is more common for me, we're still looking pretty. I'm going to 7-iron it into the green. Those guys are all off to one side, so I'm feeling like we're good. I'm going to do a couple of warm-up swings, as this is the first time out of the bag today, and keep it relaxed. That is not a very nice lie. I've still got well over 200 yards to go, so I'm going to 9-iron it and just get it on the fairway, give myself a better lie for the next shot. Keep it smooth, play it smart, way of the player. That's a better connection. That's what we like. And I've topped it. I mean, it was a long way down into the ground. That's why I said it was a horrible lie. So we are going to 5 hybrid it. This has been pretty good for me in the warm-up and the practice today. This is a much better line for it, and I've got loads of space right. So we're going to aim for that purple tree. We should clear it. And if it goes a bit right, it goes a bit right. And somehow it's gone left. Nice little kick though, keeps it in play. 87 to the front, 805 to the back. With a horrible... No, actually this is not too bad of a lie. It's a little bit down again, but I should be able to get under it. Pitching wedge should be perfect for this, and it should give me the height to get over these trees. But even if it doesn't, they're not the thickest of trees. So I'm gonna roll the dice. Maybe not the best way of the player kind of shot, but we'll see how it goes. I didn't see that come down. Let's go and have a look under the trees and find out. Why is everything going left today? So it came down. I don't know how I didn't see it because it dropped straight down, but it might have been behind, yeah, it was behind the other tree. This has got a good lie. I can get under this. This is all wobbly and bobbly, so I need to get over it. So we're going sand wedge. I'm going to do a nice confident swing like I did before. Get it up and over these and let it roll out on the far side. But actually confident, not chicken out like previously. Up down on the fringe. It is going to roll off the back, but at least we're out of the worst. Probably should have brought a wedge, because this is going to be a nasty little bit over the green, or over the fringe rather, but we'll give it a whack. Get it on there, get it rolling. Little to the right. There we go. Very happy with that. Don't think it would have been any better with the wedge, so I'm okay. Now if I can put this away for a comfortable 7, we will not be too upset. We are looking ever so slight break to left. Going to go about 1 cup to the right, nice and firm. Not that firm, oh my lord. $350-yard par 4 again. Not going to do, oh, this is my 5 hybrid, no mind, scrap that. 5 wood. Not going to do driver because that has not been behaving today. We might try it again on a later hole, but I'm not rushing into that after that 9 on the last. So we're going to aim roughly where those guys are now. Left side of the fairway. Gives me some space on the right if I need it. With my 5 wood, should be about 216 yards, which should leave me with 150 in to that white flag at the top of the hill. So it is a deep pin, which will cross when we come to it, but that could be very annoying because that is a very, very sloped green. It's on the right line, and it's just shy of the trees, exactly where I wanted it to be. Why can I do that with my 5 wood, but not with my driver? It's a very sloped green, it's deceptive from here. It's going to come out slightly left because the ball is below my feet. I think it's left, one way or the other. I'm going to go straight at it because I've got to miss both sides, I've got space. Ideally not right, but because everything's going left today, that's okay. Left is a friendlier miss. There is a fake bunker up there, and I'm going to 6-iron it because I've got a long way to go. It has finally gone right, but it hasn't gone far enough, so I've still got a good 50-yard chip, but it's playable. Sand wedging it, you can see the slope a lot more now. It's going to go right to left. I'm going to put it high side, hopefully it rolls back down. Main thing is I just need to jump it over all of this rough stuff and get it onto the dance floor. Committed swing, nice and smooth. Committed it into the floor. This is still an okay lie. It's a little bit shorter yet. If I get that same distance here, I'll be okay with that height. Aiming right side. Bit of a thin, but we are up. Should hold firm, yeah. This is going to aggressively break to my right. It's also downhill, so I need to be very cautious. Yes, I need to get over this rough stuff and onto the green, but very cautiously. So absolutely gently dribble it. Aiming it heavily left. Let the gravity do its work. I am over the moon with that. Fantastic putt. Need to respect this. Still going to go to my right. We are going to aim left edge. Give it just enough to fight through the break. Ordinarily, I'd say this is a drivable par 4. It's 292 yards to the front of the green, and it's all the way down that hill. However, as you saw earlier, my driver's not behaving, so we're sticking to my trusty 5 wood, and with the downhill, it still might be reachable. So, again, it will kick left. I've been going a little bit left today. Again, I'm going to basically aim at exactly where those golfers are, and hopefully the hill and a little bit of the wind, which is also right to left, will do the work for me and pull it down in the direction of the green. Has gone heavily left again. Heavily left. And straight into a bush. We will drop down there. It's above my feet, so it's going to want to come out right. We are going to aim right of the flag, which is basically in line with this tree, and a 9-iron should be comfortable, so just a nice cool tempo swing. And I've topped it after hitting the floor twice. I don't understand. pitching wedge, weird lie, really getting down on it, pop it up, get it on the green. Properly fatted. Big stick come back out because it's a par 5. And if I can't hit the big stick here, I can't hit it anywhere. We've got masses of space to the right, and it's going to kick right because of the hill anyway. So we're going to aim left, even left of where that golfer is now. If I can get it over that path, we're laughing. Have done in the past. So that's what we're thinking. He's stopped. I was going to let him walk on before I hit, because if I can absolutely connect, that's where it's going. A little bit straighter than before. Still slightly more on the right hand side than I'd like, but we have got over the path, and I think, yeah, I've seen it by the trees. 160 yards into the green. It's got massive space on the left hand side. So my current aim for 160 yards is to hit my 7-iron, which won't go that far on its own. But if I can get it over this left hand bunker, use the hill to bring it back around to the right hand side, hopefully it'll have enough legs on it to avoid falling into the bunker that's right on this edge, and just get onto the top shelf of that green, and I can putt it back down for safety. That's the plan. We'll see whether or not it actually works. It's going to break slightly right to left. Get down the hill. He's down the hill. Didn't break. And did not get the speed from down the lip that I expected.
So as you may have noticed from the slightly sped up clip just a moment ago, we started having some technical issues at this point. It's the first time using some new technology, so it took some getting used to, and we didn't notice this had happened until I got home and started editing. So from here on out, it's going to be some editing Panky voiceover commentary. This is the 8th hole. I missed the driver shot, which did not go very far, but then the very good pitching wedge recovery shot that led to this one. It was then nice and smooth from there on, managed to get it into the green. Didn't quite get the length on it on this third shot, so I was a little bit close to the front edge, but a simple chip, put it up, got it right to the flag at the back of the green. I took a good amount of time reading this part. It was clear it was going to go to my right, but not by a huge amount, only about a cup or so. So I gave it a good chance. It looks more downhill on the camera, but great pacing, and ultimately rewarded with a fantastic 1 putt. So the 9th hole here is a 135 yard par 3. I've gotten pretty good at lining up the distance here with my 8-iron, I think it is. So I set up, feel comfortable, give it a nice smooth swing. Unfortunately, as is my tendency, not for this whole round, but in general, it goes out very right. Being off to the right hand side here left me with not a bad chip to get back onto the green. It's a middle pin, so I had space to work with. Gave it a good swing, and it did get some good height, caught just on the edge of the fringe, but due to the hillside it pulled it back down and actually away from the flag, but it put it within putting distance, so that's something. Setting up the camera to putt, I definitely put it way too close to where the ball was, but instead of moving the camera and giving myself more space, I thought I'd just give it a whack, and as a result, it didn't get even nearly close enough. And here, due to my frustrations from that first shot, my frustrations with the tech not behaving, all kind of patience went out the window, and I just stepped up, hit it, stepped up, hit it, and ultimately the worst putting I think of the last 2 years of my golf career. But we got it in the hole, we move on. So the 10th hole is another 290-ish yard par 4. I can and have in the past completely driven the green. Once I even drove all the way over it, it landed short and just rolled long, so not doing that today. And admittedly, when I was hitting here, there were already people on the green. So 5 wood came out again. It's been more reliable than the driver has been today anyway. and I didn't want to hit straight into them. So I lined it up, took my time to aim, hit what felt like a great swing. And honestly, I think it may have been my best 5-wood of the day. Left myself with about 20, maybe 30 yards to get it onto the green. Closer than I would have liked, but still dead straight, which is ultimately a win for today. Here's why it was actually really bad to land where it did. This is say 30 yards to the green, but it's all downhill. The green does slope up at the far side, but not wonderfully and not too strong. So I needed to be sensible. I went with a 7 iron and I went for a little bump and run. The idea being that it would just trickle down the hill and hopefully stop by that front pin or in the gully nearby. Ultimately, it had a good bounce on it, but it just ran so much further than anticipated. But we got it on the green, gives us an opportunity to 2-putt. This looks a lot further than it felt in person. I would say this is about 18 feet or so, but it's there. There's an opportunity. Give it a good chance to make sure it comes back. That was all that mattered. It was downhill now, so I had to respect it. But ultimately, I am very happy with how that first putt went, and it's an easy cleanup to secure what is ultimately my only par of this round. Spoilers for what's coming up. Historically, I've done very well here on the 11th. Normally, I will driver off this tee and get it all the way up there. It normally hits that big tree you can see right on the top edge on the left and sits under there, which is not where you want to be, but that's where I've landed in the past. Today, I went with the 5-wood because that's what's been working better for me. And while it looks good off the tee at first glance, you lose it at the top of the frame and it actually hooked heavily left and only made it about halfway up the fairway. So found myself in and amongst the trees and decided to play a smart shot. So you can see there I'm highlighting the bigger gap between these closest 3 trees. I got my 7 out, put it back in my stance, made sure I kept it low and just popped it back into the fairway, playing that smart golf to give myself a nice, smooth, easy shot in towards the green. This is only about 100 yards. It's almost perfectly pitching wedge distance, which is what I'm explaining here if my microphone was working properly. So I felt very confident coming into this. We are on the perfect fairway. The lie is fantastic. We played smart golf to get here, even if the tee shot wasn't pretty. And we set up with a pitching wedge with the perfect distance to play. So of course, I absolutely fat the crap out of it and the ball goes nowhere at all. Now that we're 10-15 yards closer, try it again. Still the pitching wedge, but even closer so I can relax a bit more, don't have to hit it so far. You can see I'm stressing to myself, get that weight transfer right. Don't hit behind the ball, and somehow I thin it. And it goes up there. It gets a good distance, it's at the green, but it bounces off to the left and we lose it in a bush. So I have to drop on one of those mounds that's just to the left side of the green. Get the 60 out because there's not a lot of grass to get across here. And I can see there, which I didn't realize at the time, but looking back, yeah, I chickened out halfway through that swing, really slowed it down and it didn't make it far enough forward to get on the fringe. But I go for the Texas wedge. I'm actually really happy with how that goes. That ends up in a really good spot, good distance, broke a bit more than I expected, but it's an easy cleanup to salvage a poor hole. Hole 12 is one of my favorite on the course. It's horrible to walk because you're going all the way down and all the way up, but it's great to look at. It's par 3, it's only about 140 yards. I normally hit an 8 iron off of here, and it should be nice and easy. There's loads of space left and right. And today I needed it. So heavily left again. It's almost exactly like that pitching wedge shot I hit just before. It whacks out there. It gets good distance. It goes far enough up the hillside that if it was aimed correctly, it would be on the green. But sure enough, we're way off to the left-hand side. After a long walk down the hill and back up the other side, got a chip to try and get it on the green. This is a steep green. It's going to want to roll all the way back down into the gully. So I'm going to have to aim left of the flag here and hope that it rolls in a friendly fashion. And as is tradition, I thin it. So it does help it get up and over the lip, but it rolls aggressively forward once it's up and over there. And I am very lucky that it doesn't roll in the bunker. Saved by the lip of the bunker. I'm perched right on the edge of it here, on my tiptoes, to try and get this line. And as I said, the camera doesn't do it justice how steep this hill is. So I give this the gentlest of taps. And I'm happy with how that rolls down. You can see it's got a mind of its own. For some reason though, I decide that it's going to be a good idea to try and hit through the break and give it a bit more wallop here. And it just goes for a mile. I don't know what I was thinking. I hit it so gently to get it on the green, knowing how steep this is, that I think I can hit through the break and have no negative consequences the other way. I don't know. Not the worst putt back up the hill, but yeah, stupid finish. Hole 13 is another 290-ish yard par 4. I potentially stupidly get the big stick out again here, because with it being uphill the way it is, through those trees as the line, a 5 wood would only get halfway there, and then the slope on the hill on the other side would just take out all the roll from the ball and kill it dead. So I go for the big stick, knowing I need to get it beyond those trees and to keep it moving forward after the first bounce. And by some miracle, I hit it straight. We go straight through the middle of those trees and it keeps going up. It leaves me a perfect 80-yard shot into the green. So I brick out the sand wedge, I believe here, and go for a nice smooth stroke, full swing sand wedge, which should take me onto the green for 80. And it does get a good direction, it does get a good distance, but I think I was too relaxed and it was just that short. I was suckered in by the short range of this chip, and I got out the 60 thinking it doesn't need to go very far through the air, so I'll go for height and land it short. And while I did some good practice swings, as I swung it, just no distance whatsoever, no forward movement, and got caught in the grass instantly. Should have gone with the sand wedge. So Texas wedge it the last little way, get it back on the green. Again, happy with the weighting. It did break a lot more than I expected it to there again, I'll be fair. It looked a lot flatter, but gets it on and it's an easy cleanup. That drive deserved a better finish, but we're in the hole. Hole 14 is the longest hole on the course, 479 yards. And I have to get the big stick out again because of it. Now, after the last hole, not actually feeling too bad about that. We did get a good straight drive out of it. So, we set up, we line up, we take the swing, and it is dead straight. Down the right hand side of the fairway, which is not ideal, we definitely want to be on the left of here, but at least it's straight and we haven't lost the ball. We also got over the fairway bunker, so a 260 yard drive, we're very happy with it. It's in the long stuff on the right, so here's me explaining my plan for the next 2 shots. It's 200 yards in, but there is some massive trees on the right hand side that are blocking me in the green from here. So I'm going to go down the left, I'll aim at the second fairway bunker, but hopefully miss it. That's 100 yards with this pitching wedge, and then I leave me with another 100 yards onto the green with a nice clear line. The first time today, this shot goes exactly where I want it to. Finally, I feel like I can play this game. The second pitching wedge shot, however, sculled straight into the bunker. Great. This is the first time I've hit a bunker shot on this channel, in any kind of practice or course or anything. So, it's got a horrific lip on it. We get the 60 out, we know it's open, got to really commit to it, really get behind it, really hit it in, follow it through, don't chicken out, make sure we get this out of the bunker. Par still on the board if we can do this. And it comes out. I'm very happy with myself. We're on the green. We are putting. This might happen. Slight misread on the par putt, just doesn't break at all and rolls for days. Putting it back the other way, it's a nice easy line, but doesn't break where I think it will, and unfortunately it's a double bogey. Hole 15, and it's the last par 3 on the course. It's 130 yards, the 8-iron's back in their hand, and traditionally I'm pretty good with distance on this hole, so I'm happy with my 8-iron. Where I do fall down normally though is a right-hand finish. The hole is horrific if you end on the right-hand side. It rolls downhill, rolls into bushes, rolls onto the car path, and you cannot play it. I know this. I'm aiming left. Everything has been going left earlier today. That shot doesn't. That shot goes hard right. And sure enough, bounces further right and goes down towards the bushes. But we do manage to find it right on the edge. The bushes don't leave me a lot of room to swing here, but we're just trying to clip it up the hill and get it onto the green. The green should leave it a lot of space to roll because it's a deep flag, so that does work in my favour. Feel happy, give it a good whack, and actually jumps up the ledge, jumps over the fringe, and does get on the green quite nicely. It doesn't roll as far as I'd like when it's on there, but it's on the green. This is a long putt, so I give it a whack, but there is a hidden slope in there. The ball just gets to the top of the slope and dies. So it's a little bit unfortunate, but I think it saved me because it was braking before it stopped, so it would have broken a long way further to my right if it had. As it is, I clean up a nice, easy, straight putt for the bogey. 16th hole then. We're on the back stretch now. It's another long one. It's 370 yards. It is only par 4, so we get the big stick out. It's been okay with us, but I also I stepped slightly back with my right foot here to try and help control my slice a little bit. Doesn't matter when you leave the club face wide open and just smash it straight out to the right hand side instead. So don't know if my swing path was better, but still out it goes. We actually end up losing it in the bushes here. We're on the 4th fairway here, so we have gone right across the other hole and are now hitting it back. So we're going to go and try and drop it by the trees, but we fat it and roll it 20 meters instead. So that kind of sums up the end of this round at this moment, boys and girls. 7-iron out, trying to go for that same shot again. It is going to be tricky to not avoid the trees at this point, and I say stuff it. Go straight for it, and it goes straight through the middle of that fat tree that you see right in the middle of the shot. It does come out the other side and leaves me not a bad shot into the green, but it's right over a bunker. I get lucky because that duff takes it over the bunker for me, rolls to the back edge of the green. I've got a long putt in, and this was way more downhill than I thought. It rolled for days. So a long return putt still to come, and I really did not respect this. I think I pulled it ever so slightly, so I ducked around to the left and then coming back up for, again, what I thought should have been an easy putt. You can see there my club's already open and it just breaks again back on the same line that I knew it was going to do. So my head is gone at this point. 17th hole is the last par 5 of the course. It's just over 400 yards, but there is a slope in the middle, so you drive it over the slope and it will roll all the way down and get you really close to the hole. Why I thought drive would be a good idea after that last hole I don't know, but clearly I overcompensated because this time we went heavy left instead of heavy right. When we get down there, ball is nowhere to be found, completely lost in the bushes, so we do have to drop just in front of this mound. There is good space though, so I go for a pitching wedge to get it up and over, and somehow it just stuffs straight into the floor and barely goes 20 meters over the edge of this. So we get forward. It is now technically back in the fairway, so it's nice and low. So we get the 7-iron out, go with the trusty faithful, and give it a good whack. And it actually gets some legs on it this time around. And it makes a run. It uses a hill on the other side and pulls us in nice and close to the hole. Finally ended up where we wanted to be. This is 100 yards in. There is a bunker. The flag is at the front of the green. So we're going with a pitching wedge, which is actually long for this. We want to go over the hole, deep into the green and putt back towards myself. We're on the fairway, ball's above my feet. We've been doing well with that mostly today. So we set up comfortably and go for what should be a comfortable swing. And I don't even know how I did that. It wasn't a thin, wasn't a fat, there's no mark on the floor, but the ball's gone barely 20 feet straight into the rough in front of me. I have nothing. I have no words. I didn't know at the time. I don't know now. You can see I'm fuming. Set up, and to be fair, in fact, the rest of this hole just doesn't deserve commentary. I'm just going to let you watch it out with the music, because the music will be more interesting than anything I have to say over this horrendous mess.
Just got up, something's wrong. I waited up with wounds on my feet. Where will you be? Flickering through memories, the Polaroids yellowed in the sun, longing to be seen. So come and hide with me, hide with me, hide with me. Come and hide with me, hide with me, hide with me.
If you've made it this far in the video, I salute you, but I also have to ask you to like and subscribe, because if you stuck it out, I think that deserves it at this point. That last hole was something special, but we're on the 18th now, and it's time to bring back out the 5-wood. It's only just over 300 yards, so the idea being a comfortable 5-wood straight up the middle, leaves me with 100 into the hole, pitching wedge it. While it hasn't been doing a comfortable 100 yards all day, that is still the theory. We're still trying to play smart golf. So we line it up for right down the middle. It will always bounce a little bit left here due to the nature of the fairway. So we've got a little bit of buffer for that right-hand swing. And we go left. Why not? Yeah, 5-wood should go hard left for today again too. I know the last couple of times it did, but it is what it is. Due to this big mound on the left, we are up top. We do manage to find the ball. It stays firm. So we go with a trusty 7-iron from above the feet and try and bring it into the hole the way we originally intended. And it actually comes out really nicely. as I said, ball above the feet, not normally something I have trouble with, but a couple of times today had to prove that wrong. This now leaves me not with the 100 that I originally wanted, but with a 65-yard shot into the green. And 65 yards is actually not a bad one for me, because I know it's a full swing with my 60-degree wedge, and that's what we're going to try and pull off. The distance was perfect, but it was a little bit left again. It did stop on the green, it's not on the fringe, so that's a win. I'll take that as a positive, but it's left me with a long putt to go. And at this point, I think I was just deflated and destroyed. So the putt did not have the legs on it to get where it needed to go, and it was horribly misread because it just wasn't going to break like that at all. Ultimately, I think that does sum up the round. We had some strongs to start. We had an okay beginning, but a really rough finish. And with a nice final putt to seal it off, it is a final bogey. I will put the full scorecard on the screen at the end. It's nothing to shout about, nothing to take home, really, but the numbers are there if you want them. Thank you again if you made it this far and if you've watched this whole thing. If you have any tips, any advice, please put them in the comments below. I would really appreciate it. I'm here to try and learn. I'm here to improve my own game as well as give you guys something to watch. So if you can help with that, I would appreciate it. I've got a lot of work to do before Portugal. It's only technically 4 weeks away at this point. Definitely a lot of work to be done in that time. If we want to break 100 while we're there, it is, again, as I said, the longest course I've ever played, so I really need to get my driver working. But all in all, I hope you have a great week, and I will see you next time.